everybody, it's a good one today. We're in Proverbs chapter 13, still looking at verse 11 now. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. Another proverb about money. Told you they're all over the book of Proverbs. Very practical book, and this one is pretty easy to apply. Not a whole lot really to explain. Get rich quick schemes don't work, in case you haven't heard that yet. On one level, super easy to apply. Don't be chasing down the silver bullet to get rich, because if it's easy come, it's easy go. Lottery tickets, right? I'm going to go out and pay a couple dollars and make millions, and that's going to be it. I don't have to work again. Shady business deals. This guy's got a thing, and if we invest in it and we do this right, we'll never work another day in our lives. Chasing trends, right? Remember a few years ago, it was frozen yogurt places, right? Oh, we got to get 1,000 frozen yogurt places or gyms or whatever it is, and then the CBD oil is the thing now. Chasing down a trend. By the time you get there, guys, it's over, and you're going to have to do the next one when it rolls around. Pyramid schemes, multi-level marketing schemes, they don't work. Quick investments, Bitcoin, I got to chase it down. These things don't work. They work for like a fraction of people, and those that gain it, they lose it. How many long-lasting, rich, wealthy people have you heard of that got rich in an instant? Doesn't happen. They work hard. They put in the time. You are to gather, it says, little by little. If you take good care of what's coming in for you, even if it's just a little bit, that's going to be enough to last you. You'd be surprised how much just a little bit put together over a long time and carefully managed with the rest of the wisdom we have from Proverbs will be good for you. I always laugh. There's always some celebrity or politician that wants to come in and rail against poverty in this country, and people aren't making enough money and they can't live off of that. And hey, I'm all for taking care of poverty, but then they'll quote some number. I think a few years ago, somebody was like, people can't live off of $75,000 a year. And I just laughed. I'm like, I've never even sniffed that much money in my life, and I'm doing just fine, And I hear that and it makes me laugh, because that's kind of our expectation. Or maybe when you get to a certain level, you're like, if you're not making $1 million, how are you supposed to live, And you always think that the person below you is, just desperate. But I found that, ups and downs through life, you can do pretty well with just a little bit. And Jesus has even told us to be content with that. But even having that little, if you take a good care of it, and if you acquire it and you take the good care to manage it, it's going to do well for you. Don't be in a hurry. Find what works for you and then do a good job with it. And listen, even if you are in a job situation or a financial situation, whether it's investment or whatever it is, and you feel like it's not working, my advice to you is don't quickly jump to the next thing. Don't quit the job that day. I'll use an illustration that might not have anything to do with money, but I think it applies. I like to not buy guitar equipment quickly. I play guitar, you have the guitar, you have the case, you have the pedals that you buy to produce different effects, there's recording equipment, microphones and all that. And it's very easy to go out and buy a new one if you don't like what you're getting out of this one. But I found after a short time, I had an amp that I liked, but I didn't love. And I wanted a new one, but I was talking to a friend, like, well, what don't you like about it? And I said, well, it's not working this or that. It's kind of muddy. And they said, well, what are you looking for? And I didn't have a good answer for that. So I held on to that amp for like another year or two, because I knew I didn't want this one, but I didn't know what I wanted, until eventually I found out what I wanted, which, if you're interested, was a British style amp that had a more crisp and bright tone to it. And I still have that one. But that's the advice. If you're looking for something that's going to do better for you financially in this instance, don't jump as soon as you know something's not working. Find what needs to work. Find what will work. Find where the problem is. Because a lot of times the problem can either be fixed, or you'll be spending so much time chasing down these other things, you'll never have time to figure it out. So when high school students would come to me working their McDonald's job and they didn't like it, because I want to quit and do something else, I'd be like, well, hold on a minute. If your problem is you're not getting enough hours, your problem is you're not getting respected, you're going to go be entry level at some other job, and the same thing's going to happen. Stick it out and see if you can put in your time and get some more hours or get a better boss. Then over time, maybe you realize, like, I just don't like food service. Then you move on and you find something else. But that way, you're not chasing things quickly. You're gathering little by little. I wasn't even going to talk about that. I think it's a good point of application for us, though. And I also think that we can apply this spiritually, too. Don't always be looking for the one big moment that's going to finally fix me. That one worship service, that one Sunday morning, that one sermon that's going to change my life and finally I'll get over all these problems. That's not how spiritual life works, guys. Emotionally, relationships, it doesn't work that way. You've got to put in the time, gathering little by little, always looking forward to be better and to do better and to be more faithful and more kind and all the rest that you were before. but not panicking that you're not like some hero of the faith. You're not John Wesley, you're not George Whitefield. Okay, well, those guys had long lives to build up to that. We see Paul. Oh, Paul was a great man of faith. Yes, but Paul also had a whole previous life of learning the law and learning the traditions well and learning how to study. Then he had 17-ish years where the Holy Spirit taught him in obscurity before he went out. Moses had 40 years. Joseph also had about 40 years. Jesus himself grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men, gathering little by little. So I hope this makes you feel a little better, right? Be patient in your spiritual life, in your relationships, in your temper, even your personality, and of course bringing it back to what this proverb is about, which is money. Be patient, work hard, be smart, be creative with your thoughts, but don't look for the big score, that you're going to chase down some scheme that somebody's come up with, or God forbid, something sinful and even illegal in order to get it quickly. Gather little by little, and that's going to work a lot better for you. God bless, guys. See you next time.